What's up, guys? Welcome back to the DMV channel. I'm Jeff Dixon. Isaiah has the camera, and we're super excited you're here. Today's going to be a pretty awesome episode. Isaiah has put together a montage for us over the last 2 years of progress on the Miata. I'm super excited to show that to you guys. I'm super excited to watch it myself. And at the end of this video, we're going to have a question for you. Now, this is a question we haven't been able to answer for 2 years, but I'm hoping with your input, we'll finally get some closure on the question. So let's jump right in and take a look back over the last 2 years. We found a Miata on Marketplace and drug it home. No motor, no trans, completely trashed. Wrecked in the rear, but for 350 bucks, we thought it was a great start. First thing we did was completely gut the car, drop the front subframe, and then used it to build a jig that located all the mounting and suspension. We then used the jig to build the subframe, and after massaging the firewall, the motor fit perfectly. After sourcing some U-joints that fit the Miata splines, we built a new steering shaft that would clear the exhaust. From there, we began to sort out the mash rear quarter panel. Another Marketplace search led us to another Miata being parted out, and for 40 bucks, we brought home a left rear quarter. This is my first time doing a repair job like this. All in all, I think it turned out great. What would a budget build be without a rattle can paint job? Typically, I don't recommend this, but in our case, it'll all be hid under a vinyl wrap. We fabricated up some brackets that allowed us to mount the Thunderbirds 8.8. We then installed all new poly bushings and coilover sleeves, gave it a little paint, shoved it back under the car. Hands down, the hardest part of the Miata was the roll cage. It was tough. But in the end, we got it done, and we got to build a tubing bender, which saved us even more money. We installed all new hard lines, new manual brakes, a rear proportioning valve, and then upgraded to the slightly larger Miata Sport brakes. Next up is the bash bar. I love this. It has completely changed the whole look of the front end of the car. It's a little bit NASCAR-y, but it definitely has that race car feel. The radiator is supported by the bash bar on the bottom, and a couple simple brackets on top hold it in place. The turbo kit exits out the front, goes around the BMW sway bar, and the turbo will be mounted in the passenger side pop-up headlight hole. Under the trunk, we mounted a surge tank that's fed from the stock fuel tank, ran 8 inlines all the way to the front, should be good for about 1,000 horsepower. Well, that was awesome. It was really encouraging to see just all the work that we've got done. Now, people always ask me, when will the car be done? But you guys know a project car is never done. Although I do hope to be driving it in some manner this spring, and I hope to get it started this winter. One thing we haven't gone over is price. Now, right now, how the car sits, we have about $10,000 in it. I know that seems a lot, but these kind of projects really do just nickel and dime you to death. Now for the question. It's really a two-part question. Why build an LS Miata? What will it be used for? The first part's pretty simple. I love Miatas. They're rear-wheel drive cars. They really were built for only one thing in mind. They were built to have fun. They're fun havers, and that's part of the appeal to me of a Miata. The other thing, the biggest reason we went with the Miata is $350. They're a fairly cheap build. Tons of information on the internet. I also grew up with these cars. I graduated in 93. This car's 93. So there is a little bit of a sentimental value for me. I really do like the cars, even though they're girl cars. So the second part of the question is not so easy to answer. We know we want to do some type of racing, we just don't know which type. And the car's a little bit generic for racing right now, and I know that, and we did that on purpose. But I just don't know what the direction is. Will the Miata become a road course car, a half-mile car, a quarter-mile car, a drift car? At this point, we still don't know. Let us know what you think we ought to do with the car. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.